Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to get into some really interesting research that's
Yeah.
coming out of Russia about psychedelics and addiction.
Okay.
So, I mean, we all hear these things every now and then, like, oh, LSD can help with addiction.
Right.
Psilocybin can help you stop smoking.
Yeah.
But this research is actually starting to make some pretty big waves. And it's really suggesting that
Yeah.
these substances could actually be key in helping people overcome,
Mhm.
a whole spectrum of different addictions.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, like, finally breaking free from something
Right.
that's been holding you back.
Yeah.
Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's smoking,
Yeah.
potentially with just, a couple of guided sessions.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to like understanding how these substances interact with our brains.
So it's not just, replacing one drug with another.
No, not at all.
Okay.
This is about getting to the root cause of addiction. Think of it like this. Psychedelics, they seem to work by boosting the brain's mood regulator, serotonin.
Okay.
And this allows you to kind of see things from a fresh perspective
Okay.
and potentially form new, healthier patterns.
Okay. I am intrigued. Walk me through how this works.
So psychedelics, they interact with specific serotonin receptors in the brain,
Okay.
particularly one called 5-HT2A.
5-HT2A.
Got it. Yeah. And this interaction seems to increase the brain's plasticity,
Plasticity.
meaning it becomes more adaptable and open to change.
So instead of being stuck on autopilot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Your brain suddenly has the ability to reroute.
So you're saying you can help the brain break free from these like old
Exatums. Yeah, you see, addiction often keeps us locked in a
Right.
specific way of thinking and behaving.
like a rut.
Yeah, it's like getting stuck in a rut, always reaching for that
Like
cigarette
what
or that
you
drink or
do.
whatever it is that has a hold on you.
That's gonna hold on you.
Yeah,
So psychedelics can like disrupt that autopilot?
they can.
Okay.
And this disruption allows for like a fresh perspective
Uh-huh.
and the potential to create new, healthier pathways in the brain.
Okay.
It's like shaking up a snow globe. Everything gets rearranged and you see things from
Yeah.
a completely different angle.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
So how does that actually help someone overcome their addiction?
So the article highlights a few ways this rewiring seems to work.
Okay.
One is that psychedelics may help you process, deep-seated emotions and traumas
Okay.
that could be fueling the addiction.
Ah, so it's going deeper than just the surface behavior. Like
Yeah.
you finally understand the why behind that urge.
Exactly. And this understanding can be incredibly powerful.
Right.
It often leads to like a release of pent-up emotions,
Yeah.
which in turn can create a desire for change.
I can see how that would be a huge step towards recovery.
Yeah, and remember that brain plasticity we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, while you're processing those emotions, you're also creating new neural connections,
Uh-huh.
new ways of thinking and behaving.
So it's like learning a new skill.
Yeah,
At first, it's awkward and unfamiliar, but with practice,
exactly.
it becomes second nature.
We gotta go. Essentially, you're retraining your brain
Right.
to find satisfaction in healthier habits.
Yeah.
And that's not all. Psychedelics may also have a direct impact on like cravings and obsessions.
Really? How does that work?
Well, it seems they temporarily weaken the grip of the impulse control part of your
Ah.
brain. This gives you the space to observe those cravings without immediately acting on them.
So instead of just reacting, you can actually like make a choice.
Exactly. And that choice, that sense of agency,
Yeah.
is incredibly powerful in breaking that cycle of addiction.
This all sounds very promising. Can we get into some specific research examples now? I'm
Yeah.
especially curious about the successes with smoking cessation.
Absolutely. Studies have shown that just 1 or 2 doses of psilocybin in a therapeutic setting have helped significant number of participants quit smoking.
Okay.
We're talking success rates of like 60 to 70%,
Wow.
which is far beyond what traditional methods can achieve.
That's impressive. Are there other addictions where we're seeing similar results?
Yes, there's research going back to the 1960s
Oh, wow.
looking at LSD and alcohol addiction.
Okay.
While those studies may not meet today's standards,
Right.
they suggested that LSD could help people change their relationship with alcohol.
So this isn't a new concept.
Right.
It seems like we're rediscovering the potential
Yeah, you could say
of
that.
psychedelics.
There's also ibogaine,
Ibogaine.
a psychedelic derived from an African plant,
Okay.
and it has shown incredible promise in treating opioid addiction.
Opioid addiction is such a crisis. What's so unique about ibogaine?
Well, it appears to reduce cravings and withdrawal symptoms.
Okay.
making it easier for people to get through that initial,
Right.
often difficult phase of recovery.
So it helps on like a physical level,
Yeah.
allowing the body to kind of reset.
That's part of it.
Okay.
But there's also a significant psychological component.
Right.
Remember, psychedelics work on multiple levels.
Yeah.
They can provide insights, breakthroughs, even spiritual experiences
Right.
that can be transformative
Yeah.
for someone battling addiction.
So it sounds like it addresses the whole person,
Exactly.
just the addiction itself.
Precisely. And that brings us to a crucial point.
Okay.
It's vital to approach this treatment with caution.
Okay.
Even though these substances are showing great promise, it's not as simple as just taking them and
Right.
expecting miracles.
Sense setting right.
You got it.
Yeah.
The environment and your mindset are incredibly important.
Yeah.
A safe, supportive setting is paramount.
Yeah.
And ideally, this should be done under the guidance of experienced therapists
Okay.
who can help you navigate the experience.
So this is not a DIY project.
Right.
This requires the guidance of professionals
Absolutely.
who understand these substances.
Yeah. And even after the session, integrating the experience into your daily life is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
This could involve journaling therapy or practices like meditation
Right.
to help solidify those positive changes.
So it's a journey, not a quick fix.
Precisely. It's about ongoing support and a commitment to creating lasting change.
I'm really struck by how different this approach is from traditional addiction treatment.
No.
What do you think is the most groundbreaking aspect of this research?
For me, it's the holistic nature of it.
Okay.
We're not just treating the physical symptoms. We're addressing the underlying psychological and emotional factors
Right.
that contribute to addiction.
Yeah.
And the potential for profound personal transformation is remarkable.
It's like we're finally starting to understand the complexity of addiction
Yeah.
and developing tools that meet people where they're at,
Right.
offering a path toward real healing. Now, before we delve into the deeper reasons
Yeah.
behind why this approach is gaining so much traction, let's shift gears and explore some specific research studies that showcase its effectiveness.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Before we moved on, we were talking about those impressive
Yeah.
success rates with psychedelics and treating addiction.
Right.
But you might be wondering, why does this approach
Exactly.
seem to work so well? What's
Yeah.
going on beneath the surface?
We've covered the science, but I'm even more intrigued by the why.
Yeah.
What is it about these experiences that allows people to
Right.
break free from these patterns that have been holding them captive for so long?
Well, the research points to a few key factors.
Okay.
First and foremost, psychedelics seem to increase your awareness.
Okay.
They can peel back layers of conditioning
Uh-huh.
and allow you to see yourself, your behaviors, your life from a fresh perspective.
It's like suddenly seeing the world in high definition,
Yeah.
noticing things you never could before.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And this heightened awareness can be incredibly liberating. It allows for a deeper understanding of the underlying motivations and triggers
Right.
that might be driving your addiction, which is crucial for lasting change.
So it's not just about willpower.
Right.
It's about gaining real insight
Exactly.
into the root of the problem.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Another crucial aspect is the potential for transcendent experiences.
Okay.
Many people describe their psychedelic journeys as deeply spiritual or mystical,
Okay.
leading to a sense of interconnectedness and a profound shift in values.
Like those aha moments,
Yeah.
those big realizations that can just totally change your outlook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these experiences can be incredibly empowering.
Okay.
They can foster a sense of purpose and meaning,
Yeah.
which can be a powerful antidote to the emptiness and despair
Right.
that often fuel addiction.
Yeah. It's like finding a reason to choose life,
Yes.
choose health and well-being over that temporary comfort
Beautifully put.
of the addiction. Yeah.
And it's important to remember that this isn't just about a mental or emotional shift.
Right.
Psychedelics might also offer support on a bodily level.
We talked about ibogaine helping to ease withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah.
Are there other ways these substances impact the physical body?
There's research suggesting they can help reduce stress, restore hormonal balance,
Wow.
and even promote nerve tissue regeneration.
Really?
All of these factors contribute to overall well-being
Yeah.
and could make the recovery process smoother.
So it really is a holistic approach,
Precisely.
addressing the physical, the mental, and the spiritual aspects
Yeah.
of addiction.
And that's what makes this so different from traditional treatment models,
Right.
which often focus solely on managing symptoms or replacing one substance with another.
This is about getting to the root cause, rewiring the brain, and empowering individuals to reclaim their lives. It's exciting stuff, but I do wonder about the potential risks or challenges associated with this approach. Are there any downsides we should be aware of?
That's a great question, and it's important to acknowledge that while psychedelics can be incredibly beneficial when used responsibly, they're not without risks.
Right.
As we mentioned earlier, set and setting are crucial.
Right.
A negative or chaotic environment could lead to a challenging or even traumatic experience.
So attempting this on your own without proper guidance is definitely not recommended.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Working with experienced professionals is essential.
Okay.
They can help create a safe and supportive setting, guide you through the experience,
Right.
and ensure proper integration afterward.
It's about minimizing risks and maximizing the potential
Exactly.
for a positive outcome.
Another challenge is the legal status of these substances.
Okay.
Many psychedelics are still illegal in many parts of the world,
Yeah.
which limits access to research and treatment.
That's a huge hurdle. How can we move forward
Right.
if these substances are still, demonized and kept out of reach?
Fortunately, things are changing. We're seeing a growing movement towards decriminalization and legalization, driven by the mounting evidence of their therapeutic potential.
So there's hope for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As research continues and public perception shifts,
Right.
I'm optimistic that we'll see wider access to these powerful tools for healing and transformation.
Throughout this conversation, I've been thinking about this rewiring of the brain,
Yeah.
this increased plasticity. Could it have applications beyond just breaking bad habits?
You're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
The answer is a resounding yes.
Okay.
The potential applications of psychedelics extend far beyond addiction.
Okay.
Researchers are exploring their use in treating a wide range of conditions,
Okay.
from depression and anxiety to PTSD and even chronic pain.
Wow, so this is just the tip of the iceberg.
You could say that we're witnessing a paradigm shift
Yeah.
in how we understand the brain and the potential of these substances to heal
Right.
and unlock human potential.
It's like a whole new frontier of medicine is opening up before our eyes.
Exactly. And it's a frontier that holds immense promise for improving human health and well-being on a global scale.
This has been an incredibly enlightening conversation.
Okay.
My mind is buzzing with new ideas and possibilities.
Yeah, me too.
This research really opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's shift gears and consider some of the broader implications of this emerging field. What does the future hold for psychedelic-assisted therapies? It's amazing to think that we could be on the verge of like a whole new chapter in healthcare, But as we kind of explore these new frontiers, it's important to proceed thoughtfully, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the ethical considerations that we need to be mindful of?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. Like any powerful tool, these substances need to be handled with care and awareness.
Of course.
One of the biggest concerns is the potential for misuse or abuse.
Right.
It's critical to establish clear guidelines and safeguards to ensure responsible and ethical use.
We definitely don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past, where a lack of understanding led to these substances being demonized and driven underground.
Exactly. This time we need to get it right.
Yeah, we need to get it right. So access and equity, that's a big one, right?
Huge one.
I mean, how do we make sure that these therapies are available to everyone who can benefit?
Exactly. It shouldn't be about your background or your financial situation.
Right. It shouldn't be another privilege for the few.
Exactly. Everyone deserves a chance to heal.
To heal. And what about cultural sensitivity?
Well, that's a big one, too.
I mean, psychedelics have a long and complex history in many cultures, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to approach their use with respect and understanding.
Yeah, like honoring the traditions and knowledge of indigenous communities who have been working with these substances for centuries.
For centuries, their perspectives are invaluable as we move forward.
Absolutely. And informed consent is huge too, right? I mean, people need to understand the risks, potential benefits before making a decision.
It's about empowering people with knowledge and choice.
Yeah.
Not pushing them into something they're not ready for.
You've hit the nail on the head. Ethical considerations are absolutely paramount.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
As we navigate this new frontier,
For sure.
we need to proceed thoughtfully and responsibly.
Right.
Always putting the well-being of individuals and society first.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've journeyed from, you know, the intricacies of the brain to the potential for profound personal transformation.
It's pretty remarkable.
If you had to pick one key takeaway for our listener today, what would it be?
I hope our listener walks away with a sense of wonder and a spark of possibility.
Okay.
You know, the world of psychedelics is vast.
Yeah.
We're really just beginning to understand its potential to heal, transform, and expand human consciousness.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a whole new chapter in human history. Who knows what incredible discoveries lie ahead?
That's the beauty of it all. The future is brimming with possibilities.
It is. And as we explore this new frontier, let's do so with open minds, critical thinking, and a commitment to ethical practices.
I completely agree.
Well said. And on that note, it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
But before we go, I want to leave you with something to ponder.
Right.
We've talked about how psychedelics might help us break free from addiction, heal from trauma, and even transcend our limitations. But what if they could also help us connect more deeply with each other, build stronger communities, and create a more compassionate world?
That's something to think about.
That's something to think about as we continue to explore this uncharted territory.
For sure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.